Guys, real quick before we get into the video, my dumbass left my house keys under the rear seat next to the mic, so unfortunately they made some noise and it kind of ruined the exhaust sound. So obviously I removed them for the next video. I had to edit some of the exhaust sound out of this one. Hopefully it still sounds somewhat alright, and the next one should hopefully sound better.
Welcome back to a brand new video. It's so good to be finally back with a brand new bike. I'm so excited, boys. Traffic jam, and I did not really see that right away. Anyways, if you guys can't tell yet, this is a 2025 Honda CBR 600RR. So kind of an upgrade from the 650R that I had, and this bike is absolutely freaking nuts, man. Honestly, you know, looking from the stat sheets, just finding out all the stuff about the 600RR, I didn't really think it was gonna be like a huge difference, a huge jump, but I have to say, you guys can't even compare these two bikes. This is a whole different freaking breed. And I think this is what I was looking for, man. Like, this meets exactly all my needs that I wanted in a bike, and it's just so good to finally have it, to finally freaking ride it. Like, holy shit, the way it pulls from first, second, third, even fourth gear, man, it is really not comparable to the 650R.
The differences are obviously massive. Like I said, you can't compare those bikes, but 193 kilos wet weight, and I think the 650R weighs 202, 205, maybe even 212, and there it was, man, the 650R. I missed that bike. So yeah, obviously huge weight difference, and also power difference. I think the power difference is about 20 or 25 horsepower. Not 100% sure on the correct numbers, so I'll put both weight and power differences up on the screen so you guys actually know the difference. I don't really have any plans for today. I am honestly kind of testing out my setup as well, because I have recorded, you know, kind of like basic stuff, but not really a moto vlog with this camera and this mic setup. So I'm hoping that the video will turn out pretty well. I tried my best to set it up the best way possible, but obviously you learn from actual experience. If it's going to be at least somewhat decent, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to adjust the settings, all that stuff. I also still need an ND filter, which will make my footage look way nicer, and also I need to learn a little more editing so I can use more things in the video editor to make everything look nicer, sound nicer, and all that stuff. But I am using two microphones. One is obviously inside my helmet for speaking, and one is underneath the rear seat, which is only catching the exhaust sound. This guy's going pretty crazy. We'll try and catch him, we'll try and beat him, have a little bit of fun. This guy's freaking nuts, guys! Holy! And the auto blipper works really well, as you guys can see. And I also think you guys can already tell that this bike is freaking nuts. It accelerates like crazy, handles like crazy, nothing comparable to the 650R. The way this bike handles, I still cannot understand it, because it's literally like a toy, even at higher speeds. I know that the 650R wasn't really a sport bike,
more of a sports tourer, is what people say, even though it's under the supersport category at the Honda website. But this is an actual supersport, and I get why people call the 650R a sports tourer now, because this is a whole different breed, basically. The way it rolls from 11K, holy! This bike's an absolute dream, man. It handles like dream. You know, it wants to be flicked around, tossed around, wants to do all that fun stuff. It wants to be revved really, really high up. When I was breaking the bike in, I maybe went to like 9K RPM, maybe 10K like once or twice. It actually pleasantly surprised me how nicely it goes from the bottom. I thought there would be absolutely no torque and no power at the bottom. You know, it's not a wheelie monster, it's not a torque monster, so obviously it doesn't have crazy torque down low, but it still has some, so you can, you know, ride it casually like I'm doing right now, you know, cruising like max like 7K RPM, and the bike will feel super, super smooth, super nice.
You don't have to be a racer to get this bike, but if you do want to be a racer though, and you go above that 9K RPM, then, at least from my experience, I experience a little bit of quote-unquote lag,
where basically from 9K RPM I feel a little drop of power until I reach like 10 and a half, and then after that it feels like the bike has a fucking turbo kit, bro. Like, that shit picks up like, you know, like fucking VTEC kicked in, yo, you know what I mean? I'm either stupid and I don't remember correctly, or this bike is like way faster than the 650R, but it needs to be revved out a lot. The way it just fucking picks up from that 11K, man, I cannot get enough of this shit. Like, I'm already 170 kph, man, and I barely held the throttle open for a little bit. Like, what the actual fuck? There's fucking leader bikes out there, boys, and they have almost double the power. Some of them have more than double the power of this bike. I'm over here going crazy about how fast this picks up. You know, I don't even want to ride a Fireblade or an S1000RR or an R1. Like, I would fucking die on that thing first ride, bro. I feel like even this is too much for the street, and I don't think I ever need a leader bike, because I can have so much fun on the track with this. I can have enough fun on the street with this. I can have enough fun on the highway with this. So I can do pretty much everything I ever wanted on a 600. So like, why should I ever get a 1000? You know what I mean? I feel like it's just a little stupid, a little too irresponsible. Fucking nuts, man. You guys see the acceleration. It goes over 200 in fourth. Absolutely fucking mental. Move over, please, so I can go. Thank you.
flipper, boys. Everything's included from factory, man. Quick shifter up and down.
Do we launch this baby? I think we go for a launch. I do have traction 7, which means traction
Control will kick in, but after that, boys, absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Holy.
basically I was supposed to get this bike at the end of summer, and I already got it, and it's the start of summer, so I didn't really expect to get to ride this bike for a lot this year, but turns out we're gonna put a lot of miles on this girl this year, boys, and it's gonna be a lot of fun miles. Now I think I'm gonna leave the video here, boys. I hope that the camera worked well. I hope that the mics worked well.
And if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a like, subscribe, hit the notifications, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace!